Hey everybody, Jam Creates here. Got another video for you. I hope the sound is coming through all right. I'm using that headset again. Seemed to work well last week, so I'm down in my at my desk, where I don't know if you noticed on Twitter, I shared and I think I did it on Instagram too. I don't maybe I didn't. I shared my work in progress of my contest entry for the Hero fan art contest. The Hero Blood of Patriots. It's an Indiegogo. They're doing like a fan art contest, so I was like, I gotta try this. I'm having fun doing this. I entered the Shinobi Sasquatch one, and now I'm gonna enter the Hero one as well. I just showed the pencils. I'm actually in the process of coloring it right now, so when I'm done, I'll post it. You guys can see it if you follow me on Twitter at jam_creates. So, what am I doing here? Today, I want to review Metaphase from Alterna Comics. Now, this was a series, but this is the. Actually, I don't even know if it was a series originally or if it just was a straight graphic novel. Um, I could be talking out of my butt there when I said that. It is an all ages book. It's 80 pages. And the cover price is $9.99. I think I got this on the Dented and Dinged, so I got it for half price. But I'm going to tell you what, it's worth the full price. Just quick spoilers. It's a good book. I really did enjoy it. So, what it is, well, actually, before I get into what the story is, let's just get into here. The art was by Kelly Williams. The script by Chip Reese. Lettering by Publishing Peter Simeti. They even had an editor, which is not every one of these books has one, quite frankly. Clearly, this was a Kickstarter version. And you can see like the first edition was 2015, second printing was 2017. So I guess this is fairly old in terms of Alterna's catalog, but it was new to me. I had never read it, and I basically just kind of picked it up on a whim, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. What it is it's the story of a superhero. This guy here is a superhero, but really it's not about him. It's about his son. And you can see it starts off with them talking, that's my dad, that's my mom. Um, so what happens is uh, our main character is born with Down syndrome, but he also has a heart defect, which apparently, according to the story, is fairly common in children with Down syndrome. So we learn this poor kid, he's got Down syndrome, and he they talk about like he was in 5 months old before he was able to come home, and then he even had like hospital stuff home with him. I like the Usagi Yojimbo poster there. Um, he had 3 heart surgeries, and 6 years later, so we get to like where he's like now come to his kind of I guess you could call it his quote normal point in life, and he clearly idolizes his dad, and he wants to be a superhero just like his dad. He even designs like a costume and everything, and his dad is like, no, like, Ali, no, you cannot do this. Like, this is dangerous. And he says like, the kid even says like how come? Is it because I have Down syndrome? And he's like, no, it's because of your heart. And there's a great scene here. They're sitting down to breakfast, and there's like a thing on the news, and the father's like, and then he's like, holds up the coffee cup, thanks kiddo, and then back again. He came back for the coffee. So he fights this dude, this like big guy who's got humanicide instead of insecticide. He like there was like this big insecticide thing going on, and this guy shows up, and he's gonna whatever. So he steps on Sentinel, which is Ollie's dad, but of course he's still defeated anyway, and Sentinel is he wins, but the people are kind of like half the half of the stuff was destroyed. Like, what are we doing here? And then we see also like Ollie's flipping the channels at home, and there's these people who promise you that they can give you superpowers. We come to find out that of course this is a great page right here, by the way, this double page, where you see these people with these powers, and I particularly enjoyed this one right here where he's like, oops, sorry Kevin, no worries dude. Like, Kevin apparently is just a puddle of goo. which is pretty funny. I like this guy too. He's just got a bear head. Like that's his power, I guess, is that he just has a bear head. Kind of funny. Uh, but, but anyway, um, so that we come to find out that, I mean, I don't want to like just give you a whole summary of the whole thing, but essentially what happens is there is more to this company than meets the eye, and then uh, there's more to it than you think. They're not just these people who are just trying to like give people powers for money. Um, there's more to it than that. And then Ollie, of course, decides, well, these people can give me superpowers. I want superpowers. I'm gonna go get superpowers. So that's like the main like what that's what gets us where we're going. But there's more. There's like much more to it. I don't want to like spoil anything, but I do want to just kind of show off a little bit of the artwork because the art really is very good. It's like got a cartoony-ish style to it. This book doesn't lay super flat because it's one of the graphic novel ones, so it's kind of slipping off the edge of the edge of the desk here. So I keep having to catch it. Maybe for a future note, I'll put these kind of books on a flat surface, not the angled desk. But anyway, you look at the art. Like the art's actually very good, and the script is really good. There's a lot of there's some funny lines in it. It's for all ages. It's definitely appropriate for anyone. I definitely say you could let your kids read this without any qualms whatsoever. And it's really good. Like there's some cool stuff. I don't want to go too far into it, but I think you can surmise a little bit of where it's going just from the cover here. Obviously, eventually, of course, Ollie is going to get powers. I mean, it tells you that. Like, that's not a big spoiler. But it's a nice wraparound cover here, too, by the way. But then in the back, what's really interesting to me is in the back of the book, they give you just a little, like, heads up on the creators, on the creative team, and Chip Reese, who is the writer, he decided to write this book because his own son does have Down syndrome. And when you first hear that, you think to yourself, like, and then Kelly Williams is the artist, who I think is a very good artist. Like I said, I think the art in this book is really good. But what happened with, what could have happened, you've got a guy writing a book for his son that has Down syndrome about a kid with Down syndrome. It could have very easily been this like super preachy, kind of lame, like after school special type of thing. Like everyone's great and everyone is special and we can all do everything. But it's not. It doesn't turn into that. There's story. The characters, you like the characters. His mom, you don't really get to know. You just kind of see her in the background doing stuff. But there's like more of a world there, and you can see some world development going on. And in addition to just the character development as well. And it's really, they do a really good job. And honestly, like it's so much better than it's so much better than if I just were to explain to you, oh, it's a story about a kid with Down syndrome written by a guy whose son has Down syndrome. And, he just wanted to write something for his son, and that's what it is. And it's a kid with Down syndrome who gets superpowers. And you hear that and you think to yourself, like, okay, but what else is there? There's more. There's definitely more to it than just that. And I really thoroughly enjoyed this book way more than I thought I was going to. It was a really great surprise. I'm so happy I picked it up. I really just got it on a whim. Like I said, I was browsing through the old Alterna website, and I went into the Dented and Dinged section, and it was in there, so it was half price. And I was like, well, yeah, what the heck? I'll check it out. I never really heard of it, but I'll check it out. Why not? I generally like to give Alterna's books the benefit of the doubt. One, because price point is never really an issue, and two, because I tend to really like all their output so far. So, this one was a real pleasant surprise. I thought it was going to be like, it'll probably be okay. But honestly, it turned out to really be good, and I really enjoyed it. And so I would absolutely recommend. I don't know how easy it is to get a hold of. I really don't at this point in time know how simple or hard it will be to get a hold of it, but I would absolutely recommend if you get the chance, pick it up. It's definitely worth a read, and it's like I said, it's good for all ages. Anyone can read it. It's not gonna. There's nothing outlandish or bad or anything like that. It's definitely an all ages book, but it's an all ages book that really means that it will appeal to adults as well as kids for sure. So anyway, I'm definitely giving this a recommend. I would absolutely, like I said, I was like blown away. Honestly, by the time I was done, I had a big smile on my face because to me, this was like one of those moments that happens sometimes when you're buying comic books where you just kind of like give something a shot and it just gets you, and you're like, yes. And that's what this did. It was definitely one of those. I have no idea if there's any plans for a follow up or anything. There is certainly plenty of opportunity there for it. But seeing as how this was published in 2015 and then reprinted in 2017, uh, and now we're in 20, we're halfway through 2019 at this point. I don't know if there will be a follow up at any point, but even as its own, it stands on its own just fine. But I would love to go back and visit these characters in this world again. So anyway, that's my take on Metaphase. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And you can follow me on Twitter. Like I said, if you want to see some of my artwork and stuff, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm JAM_creates on both platforms, on Twitter and on Instagram. And I share my artwork usually on both. And then I just, chit chat on Twitter as well. So feel free to hit me up. I'll talk to you. And also in the comments, let me know if you read this before. Let me know. If you haven't, I would love to hear what your thoughts are. If you do go out and pick it up, or if you decide to go check it out, definitely let me know. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.